die, I'm the last one to die.
Hi, Francesca. Welcome to the AR show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Same here. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. Like, since COVID, I'm following you on Instagram and I'm looking at your workouts. They are so amazing. You are using different equipments. And I'm glad that you are here and talking to us. Also, I have seen recently that you have done American Gladiator. Okay, so tell us
Yes.
about your experience on American Gladiator and how was it overall?
Overall, it was absolutely incredible. I think more than anything, it was just so fun to be able to, you know, fight against the Goliaths and, these bigger than life athletes. But yeah, super incredible experience. I think part of it that I really love is like all the contenders that I left with, like amazing friends, lifelong friends. And just like overall, like you feel like you're on a video game. It was super fun.
Wow. And the challenge on the show, would you say they were more mental or purely physical?
Ooh, absolutely. I think it's 50-50 because sometimes,
Okay.
for certain challenges, there's only so much that you can train. And like, it's about just giving your best performance in the minute and in the moment and like having that determination. So I think, yeah, it's like 50-50 physical and 50-50 completely mental.
I can see that. I also
Yeah.
felt the same. That's why I asked you. And what was the reaction from your friends and family after seeing you on the stage,
Oh my
on a
gosh.
screen?
My family was so excited. My grandma even hosted like a little watch party with all of her friends. So it's like her
Wow.
and like 10 70-year-olds. They were so cute. But yeah, my mom used to watch it as a kid too. So it was super exciting for her to see me up there and especially on the joust. I think the joust, that's the one for anybody that doesn't know the show. You're standing on like a huge podium and you have this giant
Yeah.
Q-tip and you're trying to knock
Okay.
off the other person and you get 5 points for just staying on there. So like half of the goal is just not to get knocked off, like you said. Like that's like the mental part. Like you're telling yourself, like, I will not get knocked off. But sometimes the person's just bigger than you. You never know. And I don't want to give too many spoilers. I want y'all to watch the show.
Yes, yes. Everybody should watch it. Okay. So take us back. How did your fitness journey actually begin?
Ooh, I'd say my fitness journey officially began in college. I was always like an active person, always did like dance or some type of sport. But I was always like injury prone. So when I got into college, I wanted to study exercise sports science just so I could figure out like how to not get hurt in the gym and how to build muscle the
Yes.
right way. Especially too, I think it was at least like a saving grace that I knew that there was like a science to building muscle, but I just didn't know the science. So that was like my first like stepping into the world of the fitness. hmm
So this was the reason. Any other reason behind it?
Um, I think part of what helped me stick with it and, like really encourage the journey was at first, I think for a lot of people, you start off with just physical goals. You want to look a certain way, you want to, change your body, maybe you want to lose weight. But I think for me, I quickly realized like how much it was affecting my mind and it made me like feel better. I felt more confident, I felt stronger. And then just I think it affects your like outlook on life too. I think a lot of times, like for some of us that feel like some challenges are just so big for us, you're like, wait, no, like I can break down any challenge into like little steps to make it more digestible.
Perfect. And you have been very consistent on Instagram, especially since COVID, right? What keeps you so disciplined?
Ooh. I think part of it, it's split between like me wanting to stay disciplined, to show up. and for my own journey. But I think the other half is knowing that other people also are motivated by the workouts. Because over the
Yes.
years, I've had so many people be like, oh my gosh, I got to the gym today because I saw your workout this morning and I was inspired. And sometimes it's like more specific, sometimes people see a workout that they're like, oh my gosh, that like actually ignited, an interest and some inspiration in me. And even to the people too, like, I've had people reach out, especially, I love how you mentioned during the COVID times, because in COVID times, I think I was really big about like getting people out of pain. And that was like my mission for that time. So yeah, getting people out of pain, inspiring people to go to the gym, staying consistent on my own journey.
Yeah, because you inspire me a lot. Because when I follow you on Instagram and Poet, right? So I used to
Mm.
see that this girl is working out on her garage, and she is first of all she's very safe because she's working alone, working out alone, and the variations of movements and every day I used to see your host, and that was something like I also used to practice your moves, and then start teaching to my members as well, and I also get a very good feedback from them. So I was like, yeah, she had a very good, like you have a very good physique, and till now it is very difficult, I would say, because COVID is almost 5 or 6 years, right? And from there till now, and I'm sure that you were very consistent before that also, but it is my own personal experience when I saw you. So yes, it is great. So tell us about your training program and who are they really designed for?
Ooh. So I have a couple different offerings. I'd say that like my main staple offering is a mobility body weight course. And then that is for people that want to like be more confident in their movement, like people that feel like they're ready to like unlock another level of like body awareness, mobility, control. And that
Yeah.
honestly, that course is for all types of levels. And especially the way that I built the course, I designed it so that you stick with whatever you're comfortable with and like what is challenging for you. And once it's not challenging for you anymore, move on to the next segment. So you can
Yeah.
stay on like standing mobility for 3 months, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like everybody's journey is different. Some people might do, the first like segment of the course in like a day. Some other people, like I said, might stick on it for a couple weeks. So it's kind of like at your own pace.
Perfect. And can someone build muscle using only kettlebell, or they still need traditional gym training? It's my personal question.
I think for to a certain level, I think kettlebells will get you to a goal, but then like anything else, you might progress out of that. But I think for most people, I think you can definitely gain muscle with kettlebells. And I just thought of my one of my favorite kettlebell coaches too. I love him because he's kind of crazy. His name's Cliff, Cliff
Okay.
Hodges, I believe. But Cliff, he'll use like 4 kettlebells at once. Like sometimes you
Wow.
need more weight, just throw on another kettlebell. You might be holding 2 kettlebells in one hand, but, like, if there's a will, there's a way, but that's how I like
Yeah.
to kinda, like, conceptualize training.
Okay. So basically, you want to say like person can build muscles with kettlebell, but they should also add traditional gym workouts as well, right? It is also required.
I think it's helpful, and especially if
It
building
is.
muscle is your primary goal. I think maybe even some, like, things like leg press, leg extension, back squat, those things are in deadlift, like, a heavy deadlift is phenomenal for
Yeah.
trying to build a lot of muscle. Mhm.
And if someone is starting from zero, what are the three must do movements to build a strong foundation?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with first one for upper body, we're gonna do push up. I think push up is just like fundamental. Everybody needs to have a push up, whether you're a man, you're a woman, even if you're 5 years old, you should be able to do a push up. And
Absolutely.
then squat and deadlift, absolutely fundamental. I would add pull up to there, but we only have 3 options. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But pull up is also very good, and it is very essential to start training. This
Hmm.
is the fundamental thing which everybody should learn from the beginning first, and then they can start doing other movement as well. Okay, let's go. What are your top three mobility exercises to reduce stiffness in just 10 minutes daily?
Ooh, I think the theme of these are also gonna be, I'm all about I love to identify as a movement coach first. So the way we look at movement, it's like fundamental things. So I think sitting at the bottom of the squat is just as important as like your first question of like doing a loaded squat. For mobility,
Yeah,
you want a body weight squat and being able to just sit in it passively. So a minute of like a body weight squat, holding it at the bottom. My second one is gonna be dead hang, like literally just hanging from a bar, even if you have
yeah,
like a door frame, as long as it's not like gonna fall off the wall. You can hang
yeah.
onto a door frame, even if you have like a staircase in your house and you can get underneath it. And then my last one, any type of hip mobility exercise. We're just gonna call it hip mobility. My favorite one is called hip cars. It's like a hip rotation exercise. Some people also love the 90-90 switch, or people call it shin box switch. It's like when you sit on your
Nice.
bum and your legs are bent and you like swivel your legs side to side. So yeah, those are my
Okay,
three: holding a squat, hanging, and then some type of hip rotation.
perfect. For
Yeah.
fat loss without gym workouts, what three body weight move can replace cardio?
Ooh. I know this one, I feel like this one's cheating, but I think we underestimate the power of walking. Like, walking is so important. Like, if you're somebody that has the time to go do 3 miles, like, just go doing 90 minutes of walking is gonna give you a incredible return. I'm also a big fan of jump rope. Jump rope, you can
Okay,
literally buy a rope for $5. You can go, go to the park, do it at your home, anywhere. And then my last one for weight loss with body weight movement, this one, and the jump rope was a little bit of a cheat, it's still body weight, it counts. It's only $5. Um, Animal flow is going to be my favorite
wow,
modality for any type of cardio, fat loss. So with animal flow, the best way to do it in my opinion is like hard circuits. You give yourself like a 2-minute circuit, take a break. You could even do longer flows that are like 5-minute flows as well. But yeah, I love like a high intensity animal flow to like really ramp
okay,
up the cardio, and then take a long, a little bit of a break and then repeat that.
got it. Very nice.
Mhm.
And for beginners, what are three essential kettlebell exercise to learn first?
Ooh. So going back to fundamentals, I think a lot of people forget that you can use the kettlebell with two hands, because a lot of times we see people flinging them with one arm. So if
Yes,
you're a
yes.
complete beginner, I would focus on holding the bell with two hands. So you literally squat down, you can clean it up, and then press it overhead just like that. Super simple. Grab it with two hands, bring it to your chest, push it up overhead. You could even add like a squat into that complex. um,
Okay,
Also big on just a simple deadlift. Like, if you could master a kettlebell deadlift, you're opening the world to so much different possibilities, and that works its way into, like, a kettlebell swing. It's like building, the steps and the foundation. And then, last kettlebell exercise that's safe for somebody. I really wanted to say another squat variation, but we already talked about squats so much. So let's go with a split squat. That you have
wow.
like your legs separated, and I love the split squat as well because it's helping you with balance. It's helping you, strengthen one leg a little bit more than the other. It's like a faux single leg exercise. You're using both legs, but the front leg is going to get a little bit more work. So yeah, we're going to go
Yeah,
with a two-hand clean press. We're going to go with a kettlebell deadlift, and then a split squat is going to be my last choice.
crazy. And for women wanting a strong aesthetic body like a Francesca, right? What three principles should they follow?
Oof. The first one is going to be about nutrition. I know for um, women a lot of times want to eat like less, and they want to, get small. I think if you want to be toned, you got to change your mindset. To be toned, you got to focus about adding more muscle to your body and remembering that muscle is like a metabolic engine. Like your muscle's going to burn more fat, your muscle's going to keep you healthy, your muscle's going to like show through and show that like, beautiful toned aesthetic that women want. So
Yeah.
first point, try to eat 100 grams of protein a day. Simple. 100 grams if you're a
Perfect.
woman. If you can do 120, even better. If you can do
Right.
140, you're winning. My second tip is going to be to strength train 2 to 3 times a week minimum.
Okay.
Minimum. And then my last tip is to lift heavy. I know a lot of women are scared of looking bulky and they're scared of putting on too much muscle. But I promise you, any woman that you've ever seen that you think looks bulky wants to be that way because the way that they're exercising, it's just on another level. Like to add that
Yes.
much muscle to your physique as a woman, like you're training for performance and you're training hard and they're also eating well. But lifting heavy is not going to make you look like that. I promise. Like if you're lifting heavy 2 to 3 times a week, you're not going to get huge. You got,
And since 8 years I'm into the fitness industry, and still I'm getting these kind of queries that people always, the mostly women say that I don't want to do heavy lifts because I don't want get bulky. And I always tell them that if it is easy to build muscles, then definitely every individual male has a good muscles because
hmm
it's easy, right? If you can build, then every man can build, but nobody has the good physique because of you cannot build muscles very easily. It is a time taking process.
hmm
It's a long process which everybody has to follow. And of course, that you have mentioned the 100 grams of protein minimum, it is required, but people are not focusing on protein thing. They should
Yeah,
focus on that.
absolutely.
Great. And what are the three biggest mistakes that leads to injuries in workouts?
Ooh, I have this mnemonic device that I love telling my new clients because I think I'm more of an easygoing coach. I always tell my clients I'm there to facilitate you, I'm here to guide you. I want you to ask questions, but this is where I get like very strict and my other personality comes out. I'm like, wait, like we have rules here. So the biggest
Yeah.
thing I see, especially with people that aren't that used to lifting weights. Sometimes people are used to lifting only like 5, 10 pounds, but they're not used to picking up 50, 100 pounds. So they'll go and they'll grab the first rep, but they're kind of relaxed. And then they pick it up kind of like wonky, like they're not strong in their body. They're lacking structure. They're lacking integrity. So the first and the last rep, I always tell people that's the greatest potential for injury, especially to a lot of times we're doing 15 reps of an exercise. At rep 13, we're tired. We put it down at rep 15 with a bent over back, or maybe one shoulder's crooked, or, we let our legs go out at the end. Like the last and the first rep have to look just like rep 5, just like rep 6. Like all of them should look relatively equal, at least with the same amount of effort. hmm
Yes.
And
Okay.
then my
And
second, so yeah, I got two other ones. So then lack of integrity on your reps. And then what else do
okay.
I got on my notes over here? I put some notes. And then trying to do too much in one session. That is my other thing. I think there's only so much you can do in an hour workout, and you have to prioritize rest. So that's my other one, not resting enough and doing way too much in one session. Like you got to think about your whole week. You have a whole week to work out, you have a whole month. You don't need to do as much as you can in one day. Like it's not going to
Certainly.
get you good results sometimes.
Perfect. And the third one?
Oh, sorry, it was the rest. So yeah, doing too much and then resting. I kind of meshed them
Perfect.
together. hmm
Yeah. And what are three functional movement everyone should master for real life strength?
Ooh, real life strength. One of my favorite functional strength exercises is a Turkish get up. Because a Turkish get up, you're holding a load over your head, but you have to like maneuver your body around the weight and get
Okay.
from laying on your back all the way up to standing on your feet and then back. Love that exercise. It shows a lot of like weak spots for people. And it's a lot harder than it seems. Even for me as a coach, sometimes I'm like, oh, they're easy. I've been doing them for 10 years. And then I'll grab like a 30-pound weight. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's so heavy. Also in kilos, 30 pounds is like, what is this, like 14 kilos? Forgot I
Okay.
can do relative conversions for y'all. My second functional movement to really build real life strength would be a pull up. A pull up, if anything, is
Okay.
more of like a skill. Pull ups are not easy to master, but I think for people that do spend the time to get their first pull up and are able to do them with good form, like it translates into so many ways. You just feel stronger. You're literally
Yeah.
10 times stronger than what you were before you could do a pull up. And then
Correct.
my last one, I'm gonna go with kettlebell swings. I think kettlebell swings are a little bit underrated because we don't necessarily I wouldn't classify them as a true strength exercise, but when it comes to having real life strength, like you said, it's a little bit more about power. Like that helps you stay powerful in the real world, helps you react quickly to things. So that one's more about like speed and power. But yeah, I think the kettlebell swing translates really well to real life because we start losing our power as like one of our first skills. Like as you get older, we lose balance, we lose muscle mass, but we really lose that ability to create power. So I think that helps you just feel strong and capable in the real world.
Nice.
Mm.
And what are three habits that separates an average person from someone truly athletic?
Ooh. I just learned that fitness people have this term for non-athletic people that they are like regular people. It's so mean. It's called NARP. Have you ever heard this? It's
What
called
what was that?
It's called NARP. It's NARP. It's a non-athletic regular person. That's so mean. It's horrible. But yeah.
Okay.
So,
No, I
what I
I
was
I haven't heard this.
yeah, I just heard it for the first time like 3 days ago. I was like, "Oh my goodness. Now we have a
I
new
think
word
I
for."
think it's a Gen Z
Right?
word,
I think so too,
right? Is it?
yeah. So I
Okay.
would suggest or what I think separates a true athletic person from your average fitness person is my first thing is balance. Like having good balance and being able to recover quickly and being able to literally just not fall is probably one of the more underrated things. And I really started thinking about this more when I started training for American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Because the coach that I was working with, he used to watch it as a kid. So he already knew, what to train us for. But that was one of the most important things we worked on. Because if you just think about it too, like sometimes in real life, balance is one of the things that's going to get especially women, older women, if they fall and they break a hip, like that's going to kind of, deteriorate your life and your quality of life just goes down, mortality rate goes up. But just for athleticism, there's so many times in sport where you have somebody maybe trying to make contact, or if you're a gymnast, you have to stay on a balance beam. So I think balance is elite. My second
Okay.
thing, kind of going back to the kettlebell swings, is that power. So I think power and speed is another thing that separates people with true athleticism. And that's why you see so many people specifically train for that. And then
Correct.
my last thing, this is something I need to work on more, is my agility. I think having that quick change of direction and being fast on your feet is something that really separates your typical gym goer from a true athlete.
Okay. Perfect. And if you had 30 days to transform someone, what are your three non-negotiables?
Ooh, I hate 30-day transformations, but we live in the real world. People got to do them. So if you wanted to do a 30-day transformation, I'm a little bit hardcore or more textbook. I would say I'm very textbook. So you would have 4 days of weight training, non negotiable. And then you're going to have 2 to 3 cardio sessions. So you can pack those two together, or you can do your cardio on your rest days. And then eating whole foods only, whole foods and high protein. If you want a real transformation, no junk food, no crazy like fruit drinks, No Starbucks coffees, no sweet
Yes, of course.
coffees, no ice
Yes.
cream. So yeah, basic whole foods, making sure you're hitting all your macronutrients, fiber, carbs, fat, protein, a lot of vegetables.
So I think 30 days of transformation is more over a diet and the discipline and the consistency part. If that person gets consistent, then definitely afterwards that person will get discipline and that person will take it fitness more serious and they can continue
Yes,
after that. But 30 days is something that gives you a motivation to do, like that
absolutely.
person has to do a 30 days of consistency and things have
And
to
I
go
love what you
and
said.
that.
Like it sets you up for the future and having good habits and like continuing, maybe
Yes.
not as extreme, but continuing that lifestyle.
Okay. And any specific training you have done to get into the American Gladiators challenges? What
Oh.
all? Just give me proper brief. I want to know that what all exercises you have done, what was in your mind, everything in detail.
So when I worked with my coach, we did a lot of like single leg power exercises. So something where I'm standing on one leg and I'm like slamming a ball, and he would do the opposite where I'm standing on one leg and I'm catching the ball so that I learn how to
Okay.
like absorb impact without falling over. So it's like working on that balance, working on the power together. So I think that was probably what we spent a lot of time on. On my own, I was also doing sprint work. Um, in retrospect, I should have used a different treadmill than the one that I used.
Okay.
We have like maybe 8 treadmills that are all the same at my gym and 2 that are different. I should have used the 2 that are like the flat traditional treadmill, whatever. I could go on about it. So sprinting, agility, or sorry, power work with single leg emphasis. And then what else did we do? We did a lot of more stability focused exercises where we really call this chaos training in the fitness world. For anybody that's a trainer, you know that chaos training is when you're trying to create instability. So you have maybe like, I think the best way to visualize it is somebody doing back squat and they have, instead of plates, there's 2 resistance
Okay.
bands holding the weights on the bottom.
Exactly. Like a
Exactly.
kettlebell that person can hang on the resistance band on a rod and then they'll do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
I
when
know
you're
I have
moving,
seen these kind of videos.
the
Yeah.
weights are shaking. So I wasn't doing so much squat, but more so like pressing it forward, and the weight is like on a resistance band and it's shaking and I have to resist the shaking.
Yeah.
All of that was super useful for sure when these girls are like 180 pounds trying to knock me off my feet. So it definitely came in useful.
So I have seen one of the episode when your opponent was more heavier than you. What was your feeling at that time? Like
Oh
what
man.
things were coming in your mind? Like she's used to you and now you have to do one on one with her. What was your feeling at that time?
So I weigh like maybe 52 kilos and then maybe a little bit more. I think it's like 52 kilos. And then the girl that I went up against, she weighs 90 kilos. I want to hold on, give me
Wow,
1 second. But I
90
honestly, my
kg.
first thought, yeah. So hold on, I'll tell you right now. I'm 56 kilos and
Okay,
she is 84 kilos. So when I first saw
almost
her,
almost 30 kgs overweight.
yeah, that's a lot. So as I was
Wow.
looking at her, the first thought that went in my mind was like, I need to keep both of my feet on this platform as long as I can. And that was the one that was more of a wrestling match. And then I went up against this other girl who was also probably like 75 kilos. And my first thought with her, I was like, I can't let her knock me down. So, like, the biggest thing is just like trying to stay centered. I think that's my first thought. I'm like, use your core, don't let them whip you around.
Okay, let's see. I think you were talking about this one, right? Am I audible to you? Can you see the video?
No, I can't see the video. I see the screen is
Just,
still black.
just now.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Perfect. So what was this? Tell me
This is
something
the
about this.
joust. So this
Okay.
is, I believe, the first one that comes out on the episode. And she weighs like 70, almost 75 kilos.
Okay.
That's Hurricane. She was hardcore.
Okay. So don't you think it was unfair that people are not completing with the same body weight person? Or it
Yeah,
was
but that's kind
the
of the
format
theme
of
of the
that show?
show. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
And then this is the one
See,
where I go, yeah, this is Blaze. Blaze is, what did we say, 85 kilos?
okay. So what is this on your nose? Is it you're covering your
Yeah, my
something?
piercings, because they
Piercing,
asked me
okay.
to take it out right before, but we didn't have pliers, so I couldn't take it out. So we just put tape on it.
Good. Okay. I think everybody should watch this show and tell us in comments if you really want to learn from Francesca more. We'll come up with part two. So yeah, because see, she's so strong, and
Yeah.
your workouts are like so. I think the deadlift. So what is the maximum weight you have left on deadlift?
Oh, not very much. So I had a couple of spinal injuries growing up.
Okay.
So I don't focus on heavy weight. The most I've done is like 145, 155 pounds. But for volume, so for higher reps. So that's
I
like
think it is
what?
not that much important that you need to lift very heavy. And
Yeah.
one question that why people are so much obsessed with big glutes. I wanted to know that because and you have very good physique. Want to know what mindset people have and why they want a big glute. Any specific reason why it is getting so popular? Also, I'll talk about this one. Just
They
tell me the first one first.
I think, it's like the plastic surgery culture. I think that's my
Okay.
opinion. I think we see the physique that people get once they get off of the surgery table, and we put it into our minds as like a cultural collective that that's what we want. And like I also think that it's like there's nothing wrong with having strong natural glutes, and I think like that's really what people want in their minds, but then they see the plastic surgery and they get it misconstrued. Like I think a strong healthy glute is like really it shows that you have like a strong physique. um, so yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think some people love the strong physique, but then our culture is very like obsessed with plastic surgery too. I don't know.
Okay, so you mean to say that people are more focusing on plastic surgery rather than building a good and strong glutes, right? Is it?
Half of the time, yeah. I think
Okay.
people I do know people that see the plastic surgery and then they want to emulate it in a healthy way in their own bodies. And not to say that it's all about plastic surgery, but when I think about the trend of the big glutes kind of going back to like where it originated from, I always kind of go back to that.
And what I can see in most of the videos, you keep dancing, doing some moves, and then doing workout. So you are a dancer too, right?
Yeah, I'd love to keep, the exercises fun, lighthearted, actually have a good time while I'm still at the gym.
Wow, you can do handstand. So maximum, how long you have hold on your hands on your handstand?
um, a little
Handstand?
bit more than a minute,
Wow. You do calisthenics also?
a little bit. I'd say I dabble
A
with it.
little.
Here we got some
Okay.
animal flow.
Nice.
Love animal flow.
So what changes you have felt after doing animal flow? Any experience? Because I also like doing animal flow. I wanted to know your experience.
I think it just helps me feel more connected to my body. Like I feel so like fluid and light after doing it. I don't know. I feel like it just makes you feel good in your body.
Okay. See, I love you can split, right? S-
So.
What and what just give me three or two or three exercises for your core which you do very frequently. Because
Ooh, I
I
love
can see your tone apps. Just tell me, I want to know that.
yeah, some landmine stuff. I don't do landmine that much, but I love like kettlebell snatches. What's another good one that I really like? I love crawling, like any type of crawling. It's super common in the animal flow system, but like bear crawls, beast crawls, crab crawls, side kick throughs.
Okay. And what about the abs exercises? Just give me two or three your most favorite core exercises which you do.
Ooh, toes to bar is probably my favorite one. So you're like hanging on the pull-up bar and then you bring your feet
Okay.
all the way up. Love something basic like a dead bug. Love a dead bug. And then last core exercise. Honestly, I love like a banana pose, hollow body hold, where you're laying flat on the ground and then you lift your arms and feet off the ground. That one's
Okay.
staple. Mhm.
And what tell me just three good option which people can add in their diet. Like what three things or any specific I want to know regarding the nutrition.
Ooh, probably more vitamin C. Um,
Okay.
you can have kiwis, citrus fruit, more fiber. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, could use more fiber, more leafy greens. You can get fiber in a bunch of ways, honestly. Even like seeds and stuff like that. And then lastly, hmm, last thing or one more thing to add to your diet. Mm, more vegetables. I think we could all eat more vegetables.
Raw vegetables or is it sorted vegetables you prefer the most?
I think that's totally up to, the individual, but I like eating my greens raw, but then I'll eat everything else pretty like sautéed or cooked.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, I love a green salad on the side.
And let's go to the next part. Before we close, what one message you would give to people who want to start but feel stuck?
Ooh, start with something that you like. If you're somebody that likes long walks, start with that. If you're somebody that likes group classes, try that. Maybe you're somebody that's called to dancing and you want to do Zumba or like a salsa class. I think a lot of times we put it into our mind that fitness looks one way, but like as long as something makes you happy and you're enjoying it and it makes you move your body, like that is the way to start. And then another tip that I would give for people that want to start but they don't know where, like what to do, maybe like reach out to your gym or like to your friend that has been going to the gym for years. Reach out, like we all know like one person that's always done sports or one person that loves to do cardio. So like think of that person in your friend group and reach out to them. Like they would be so happy to bring you along with them and show you their world. So yeah, those are my two tips. Do something you enjoy, something you're interested in, and do it with somebody that has a little bit more experience than you, someone that is your friend.
Perfect. And this is the last one. I think I have seen this equipment very recently. What is it? And tell me something of this.
So this is a souffles ball, supples ball. I always mispronounce it. Can never remember which one's which. But this is super cool. It's essentially just like a med ball with two straps on it, and it's super light. This only weighs 9 pounds. But this was invented by a wrestling training system. So essentially,
Okay.
you're trying to go for like speed, power, and rotational force, or rotational
Okay.
power at that. Super cool system. Like you feel like a real life ninja. Like you feel quick, agile, and I don't think anything gets you as tired in 30 seconds than this, in my opinion.
Really great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Francesca, it was a great conversation with you. I really like the way you have explained each and everything. You were very specifically, you have mentioned everything, and I'm sure that you are going to add a lot of value, especially to Indian audience. And I have learned about you today, and I have learned a lot from you as well. So I'm sure if anything I feel that I'm missing in today's conversation, we'll ask you again in next podcast very soon. And thank you so much. You have shared your experience. Thank you. It was a great and wonderful conversation with you, Francesca.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.